I had one of those days last week. You know the one. The one where everything feels sticky, spilled juice that feels personal. A tantrum in the grocery store aisle that feels like a public referendum on your entire worth as a human being. And in that moment, standing over a puddle of organic apple juice, my teeth clenched, I had that thought. That awful, quiet thought. I'm failing at this. I am failing my child. If that voice sounds familiar to you, then I need you to take a deep breath and stay with me. Because today, we're not talking about 5 new tricks to get your kids to listen. We're not talking about sticker charts or new discipline techniques. We are going to talk about a profound, and honestly, a deeply unsettling shift in perspective that could change not just your parenting, but the very core of who you are. This is Pages to Practice, the space where we move beyond just reading books and start living their wisdom. And today, we are diving deep into Dr. Shefali Tsabary's transformative work, The Conscious Parent. The promise of this video is simple: to show you how the most challenging moments with your children are not problems to be solved, but sacred invitations to your own healing. Let's get into it. The central problem that Dr. Shefali addresses is an invisible one. It's the silent, crushing weight of the good parent agenda. We all carry it. It's a checklist we didn't even know we were handed. The well-behaved child, the good grades, the polite manners, the child who reflects well on us as peace. We spend so much energy trying to mold, shape, and control our children to fit this ideal, and we exhaust ourselves. We create conflict. We disconnect from the actual, living, breathing child right in front of us because we're so obsessed with the fantasy child in our heads. The Conscious Parent smashes this paradigm. It argues that this entire approach is backward. The book's core premise is this: our children do not come to us to be raised. They come to us to help us, to awaken. They are not clay to be molded. They are mirrors, and their purpose is to show us, with brutal and beautiful honesty, all of our own unfinished business. All our own unfinished business. All our wounds, our fears, our unmet needs, and the parts of ourselves we have long since buried. This isn't just a nice idea. It's the key to a revolution in your home and in your soul, and it boils down to a few essential, actionable principles. The first, and most important, is accepting that your child is your mirror. When your child has a meltdown because they can't get the Lego tower just right and they sweep it to the floor in a rage, what do you feel? Is it just annoyance? Or is it a deeper, more profound anger? I had to get really honest with myself about this. That rage I felt wasn't about the Legos. It was because their frustration with imperfection was triggering my deeply buried terror of not being good enough. Their inability to handle failure was poking at the part of me that was told, as a child, that giving up was the ultimate sin. The anger wasn't theirs. It was mine. They just held up the mirror. So, when your child seems defiant for saying no to a request, is it really defiance? Or are they mirroring back to you a time when you weren't allowed to have a voice? When your own boundaries were crossed? When you see their behavior not as a personal attack, but as a reflection? Everything changes. The question shifts from, how do I make them stop? To, what in me is being activated right now? This is the beginning of real transformation. The second principle is to release the ego's agenda. This one is tough. It requires radical honesty. Our ego wants a return on our investment. All the sleepless nights, the money, the energy, we want it to mean something. We want the Ivy League acceptance letter. We want the athletic scholarship. We want the well-adjusted adult who makes us look and feel successful. This is the ego's agenda. It has very little to do with our child's authentic path, and everything to do with our own need for validation. Letting this go means grieving the child you thought you would have, so you can finally meet the child you do have. It means your child's C in algebra is not a reflection of your failure. It is simply a reflection of their journey with algebra. That's it. When we release our ego, we stop trying to control their destiny, and we can finally become a trusted guide on their journey. And this leads to the third insight. Embrace presence over perfection. Our kids don't need a perfect parent. They need a present parent. They need a parent who can sit with them in their big, messy, inconvenient feelings without trying to immediately fix them or shut them down. They need to know that their anger, their sadness, their fear is not too much for us. When we can be present with their emotional storms, we lend them our calm. We become their safe harbor. This doesn't mean we become permissive. It's the opposite. It means we have the internal groundedness to hold firm, loving boundaries. A conscious boundary isn't a punishment shouted in anger. It's a calm statement of reality. It sounds like, I see you are very angry right now, and that's okay. But I will not let you hit me. I'm going to move my body over here to keep us both safe. See the difference? One is a reaction born from our trigger. The other is a reaction born from our trigger. The other is a response born from our presence. So, this all sounds big, and it is. So how do we put this into practice? How do we take this from the page and bring it into the chaos of a Tuesday morning? This is the Pages 2 practice application. 3 concrete exercises. First up, the trigger trace. The next time you feel that heat rising in your chest, that flash of anger, that wave of anxiety, I want you to try this. Before you react, just pause. Even for 1 second. Take 1 deep breath. And in the quiet space of that breath, ask yourself 1 question. What is this really about for me? Don't judge the answer. Just listen. Maybe the mess in the living room isn't about the toys. Maybe it's triggering a deep-seated fear of chaos from your own childhood. Maybe your child ignoring you isn't about disrespect. Maybe it's triggering that old painful feeling of being invisible. Just trace the trigger. The awareness itself is the practice. The expected outcome here isn't to never get triggered again. It's to shorten the gap between your trigger and your conscious awareness. Second practice. The being with practice. The next time your child is having a tantrum or a meltdown, your job is not to stop it. I repeat, your job is not to stop the feeling. Your job is to be the calm anchor in their storm. So you sit on the floor, a few feet away. You say very little. Maybe just, I'm right here with you. This is a big feeling. I'm not going anywhere. You don't try to reason, bribe, or threaten. You don't try to reason, bribe, or threaten. You just are. You are a lighthouse of presence. The expected outcome is huge. Your child learns that their feelings are not dangerous, and that you are a safe person to have them with. And you learn. You can withstand emotional intensity without breaking. And the third practice, the ego agenda audit. This one requires a journal and some courage. Sometime this week, sit down and write out all of your hopes, dreams, and expectations for your child. All of them. The big ones, the small ones. From what college they'll attend to, how they should behave at a family dinner. Then, next to each one, I want you to ask, with brutal honesty, is this for them, or is this for me? Is this for them, or is this for me? Is this about their genuine happiness and fulfillment, or is it about my need to feel successful, worthy, or in control? This isn't about judging yourself, it's about liberating yourself and your child from invisible burdens. The expected outcome is freedom, pure and simple. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds like being a doormat. This sounds like letting kids get away with everything, and that resistance is normal, because this path is harder. It is much easier to blame, to punish, to control. It takes immense strength and self-responsibility to look in the mirror your child is holding up. You will fail at this. A lot. You will get triggered, and you will yell. You will fall back into old patterns. And that's okay. The practice isn't about perfection. It is about the return. It's about the moment after you yell, when you can go to your child and say, I'm sorry, my anger got too big. That was about my stuff, not yours. Can we have a do-over? That repair, that is where the magic happens. That is what builds resilient, connected relationships. And ultimately, this goes so far beyond just creating a more peaceful home. This is the captain's signature insight. This is the soul work. What you are doing when you practice conscious parenting is breaking generational chains. You are stopping the transfer of your own unresolved pain onto the next generation. You are healing the wounded child that still lives inside of you, so that you can show up as the whole, grounded adult your child truly needs. This is a spiritual path disguised as a parenting book. Your child chose you, and you chose them, for this exact work. To hold up a mirror so that you could finally see yourself, heal yourself, and become the person you were always meant to be. By giving this gift to yourself, you give your child the greatest gift of all, the freedom to be who they are. So here is my invitation to you. The one thing to take from this, the next time you feel that friction with your child, that moment of conflict, just try to remember one word, mirror. Let that one word be your pause, your breath, your reminder to look inward before you lash outward. That single shift can change everything. Thank you for holding this space with me today. This is not easy work, but it is the most important work we will ever do. If this resonated, please subscribe for more deep dives into transformative wisdom. And I'd love to hear in the comments, what is one mirror moment you've had with your child recently? Sharing our stories helps us all feel less alone on this path. Go bravely into your practice. We'll see you on the next page.